Amazon is now the latest big employer to implement a travel healthcare program for its workers. Now, the program pays to send employees who have been diagnosed with cancer to visit doctors at City of Hope in Los Angeles if they choose to, rather than relying on the local healthcare providers in the Seattle area. Now, this still isn't a result of Haven. The company says this has nothing to do with Haven. Haven, the joint healthcare initiative between Amazon, Berkshire, and JPM, Buffett, Bezos, and Jamie Dimon. So I wonder, guys, when Haven is going to bear fruit. It's interesting to me. Every time I see a story about one of these three giants doing something interesting in healthcare, I think, okay, is this that group initiative? Nope, not yet. I mean, so that's interesting.
I mean, not yet, because they're still sort of in their infancy in terms of operations. I don't think you're going to see anything this year for sure. Maybe late next year, possibly they might start coming out with something, but I don't know. On the Amazon sending their employees away, though, that is a very interesting move, because for the longest time you've heard repeatedly the idea that healthcare is local, and you've seen local hospitals try to open up cancer centers or try to open up specialty centers, and you've seen brands like MD Anderson, Sloan, Memorial Sloan Kettering open up in different locations and sort of expand their brand. And so it's really interesting that Amazon is sort of spitting in the face of that idea and saying, no, we're just going to send you and pay to go out there.
So once again, a reminder that healthcare costs are just ridiculously high. The fact that you have to travel across the country. I mean, you have stories about people traveling internationally to get the same healthcare. It's just in our country, I mean, we just spend more than the same healthcare in other countries.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't understand about the story, actually, is it said that this will control costs.
Yeah.
I was thinking, why would it control costs? At first glance, you would think that this is more expensive.
Well, no, because the idea is that a hospital or a provider that has more volume is going to have better outcomes. So the idea that you have better care and more accurate care, like an accurate diagnosis, will then save you the dollars. That's the idea behind it, yeah.
And is this something that, maybe this is an oversimplification, but is it also sort of insulting to the Seattle area hospitals?
Very much so,
I'm sure there are some decent hospitals in
No, absolutely.
Washington.
That's exactly what it is that, all these providers have spent so much time and money on the latest technology, like, everyone's bragging about the latest robotic surgery tools or whatever, oncology tools that they have, and the doctors that they've hired and how much they've spent on all of this. And Amazon's saying, well, that's cool, but we're still going to
go to LA.
So it's good that they're involved in this sort of healthcare trio with, Berkshire Hathaway and JP Morgan,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, because clearly Amazon is paying attention to these issues. They're clearly helping their workers kind of figure all this out.
Yeah. Yep. That's going to be really interesting to watch when Haven does bear fruit. Let's mention that just last week during Yahoo Finance's All Markets Summit here in New York, Merck CEO Ken Frazier sat down with our editor-in-chief Andy Serwer and talked about all the challenges facing this industry. Watch.
Our industry is right in the crosshairs. I just saw a recent Gallup poll that said that the pharmaceutical industry was the lowest ranked industry in terms of the public's respect. That's not a good thing for an industry that exists to save people's lives.
Yeah, how do you fight that? I mean, that's really, I thought journalists were the worst, but you guys are right there with us, I guess. That's tough.
Well, we're below Congress, below bankers, below tobacco.
That's hard to
not
believe.
A good place to be.
Right.
I think it's really a challenge. So right now, I think there are a number of issues that are in the common discussion in our country. Pharmaceutical pricing. Every person running for president has a plan to reduce pharmaceutical pricing. Some of them are, I think, legitimate plans. Some of them, I think, will hurt innovation, which we don't want. I think there are issues in our country around, for example, opioids. And so I think the front page stories about the industry tend to be negative. I think what people don't understand is the other side of the story.
That was Ken Frazier, the CEO of Merck. And just a reminder, you can watch all the clips, including the full interviews from last week's All Markets Summit, if you go to yahoofinanceams.com. Lots of interesting discussions to find there.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.